Dumitru-Dorin, you mentioned technology, and I think this is a key word I would like to look at the moment, because from the outside, it often feels like space technology should be moving faster than it is actually. Yeah, but from the inside, what are the real constraints that people tend to underestimate when it comes to technology?
Yeah, of course, as you see, the technology is developing very fast. To fly into the outer space, you have to use a proof technology. These technologies should be tested in many, many flights to be sure that it works for years. It will allow to continue the space flight, not just to have an experiment, a very bright experiment to come back to the Earth, and you don't know if next time you could repeat it in the same conditions with the same results. So the technology develops. You see now the artificial intelligence, we have robots on board the space station, but we test all these things for years. This technology should be proved to be sure and to ensure a sustainability and the continuity of the space flights. It takes years. It takes years. This is the reason just the development of very fast development of technology doesn't mean that we can instantly fly into space for a longer time and using in very good conditions all these technologies. When we return now to space, we return with experience. Experience gain on board the International Space Station, experience gain representing the different conditions of the human body, experience gain in using different type of technology for years and years in the outer space, in the weightlessness, in an environment with a kind of radiation, in the vacuum outside the International Space Station. But now we prove what type of technology could be used with success on the moon.
So we have two major factors here. We have the technological part, but also we have the human part, the biological part. So where does the human biology become the limit factor?
Of course, the biology could be a limit. The human body stands to different provocations, but not to all of them into the outer space. By instance, the isolation for a long time into the outer space could cause different problems, even psychological problems. The social behavior of an astronaut could be different in a very small environment with a very few people around than on a society on the ground. Some medical problems should be solved into the outer space. Now, not long ago, a crew from the International Space Station, the Crew 11, should land because of a medical problem that could be solved on board the space station of one of the members of the crew. Mm-hmm. And they have to return before the term. They have to return earlier than it was planned. If such things happen into the outer space much farther than on Earth, you can't solve them on the ground. You have to solve them in place. You have to test a lot of procedures, medical procedures, to solve the problems, including in the future surgery into the outer space. Of course, there are different conditions. In weightlessness, a lot of things behave different than on the ground. This is the reason you have to test all these things on board the space station for now and use them in the future on the moon or on Mars. We lay also on cooperation, on the mutual understanding between nations. Each of them, they develop different experiments, different technologies, and they use them together on board the space station, and they will use them together on Mars. You know, Artemis program now has more than 50 states approve and signing the Artemis Accords. So they were 54 last time, they will be more. All these nations agree to take part in the moon exploration, in a way or in another way. With theoretical studies, with small experiments, with probes sent to the moon, or taking part in Artemis program itself. By instance, the European Space Agency, as you know, and as everybody knows, with respect to the moon, built the service module of the Orion spacecraft. The service module is built entirely by Europe. Also will take part in the construction of the Getaway space station, moon space station.
Are we still talking about the Getaway?
Yeah, we still talk about Getaway. You know, with the new administration, there were different opinions and different, let's say, orders given to NASA, even to stop the scientific program or to limit the scientific program. But not all the things were approved by the Congress. The Congress approved to not limit the budget for science, by instance, and to continue the exploration of the interplanetary space, of the asteroids, comets, other planets, and so on. Because here the United States were in forefront of the research. Why to stop them and to let others to compete and to have much better results if you already reach a very high level? Also with the Artemis program, the Getaway station was included in the program, and the final decision was to continue to build the space station because it offers a lot of new opportunities for humanity. Of course, using the new not yet approved for the moon flights Starship ships of SpaceX that could send crews directly to the moon, not only around the moon on orbit like Orion does. You have to build another lander to bring the astronauts from Orion and put them on the moon and bring them back to fly back with Orion to the Earth. For now, NASA has agreements with SpaceX and with Blue Origin as well that build landing modules to bring astronauts. But the new spaceship, the Starship built by Elon Musk, will bring astronauts directly to the moon and will bring them back to Earth. And crews much bigger than Orion does. Orion has 4 seats. Starship could have 10 seats or even more, and to bring much more and more efficient astronauts to the moon. Maybe in the future, if there will be an agreement between public and private entities to use this spaceship much cheaper and more efficient, of course the Artemis program will continue with this kind of technology. But till then, the program continues as it was scheduled from the beginning, including building a space station.